All right, so questions from this, from topic 3? Yes?
53.
53. A spherical balloon. Oh boy. Oh, they give us the some formulas. Spherical balloon is being filled with helium at a rate and feet cubed per minute. So between the word rate and the units, I can figure out that dV dt is 4 feet cubed per minute. Find the rate in square feet per minute. Well, even before they finish asking this question, if it's square feet per minute, that's going to be dA dt, at which the surface area is increasing. So I'm going to find dA dt when the volume is that. All right, so dA dt, that's what they want us to find, so I guess let's start there and then work backwards if we need to. So the derivative of A would be 8 pi r dr dt. So I need to find r, and I need to find dr dt. Once I get those two things, then I'll be good. It says when the volume is 32 pi over 3. So that'll help me find r, the volume equation. Let's see, 3's would cancel, pi's would cancel. Divide by 4, we get 8. This kind of math happens a lot in the no calculator section. If you end up having to do really crazy math in the no calculator section, you probably did something wrong. They usually rig them to work out where, oh, look at that, r is just 2. I can handle that. So there's part of my answer. Next I need dr dt, which they don't give me, but they do give me dV dt. So let's find dV dt, and I think dr dt will show up out of that. So dV dt would be 4 pi r squared times dr dt. But dV dt is 4. And we know what r is. R is 2, so 2 squared. So we can figure out what dr dt is. See, the 4's would cancel. Dr dt would be 1 over 4 pi. A side note here, the spacing on the actual AP test is super spaced out. If you've taken them before, you know that. Like, there's plenty of room to work. And so we're trying to save paper, so we cram them all up. College Board, they don't have a budget constraint, right? Like, you're paying for the test, so they can print however many pages they want. So it's way spread out. You'll have plenty of room to work. All right, so dr dt we know is 1 over 4 pi. So back to this, dA dt is 8 pi times 2 times 1 over 4 pi. Let's see, 16 pi over 4 pi would be 4. And that's one of my answer choices. So that was a good question. You had two different derivatives you had to take and do all sorts of algebra tricks. But none of the numbers were that bad. You had to know the calculus to get there, though. Good question. Related rates. We hadn't done that in a while. Rachel?
55.
55. Another related rates. Two cars traveling along perpendicular roads. Car A at 40 miles an hour, car B at 60 miles an hour. At noon, when car A reaches the intersection, car B is 90 miles away and moving towards the intersection. At 1 p.m., the rate in miles per hour at which the distance between the cars is changing. Let's see here. We want to know at 1 p.m. though. So at noon, car B is 90 miles away. It doesn't say northeast, southwest on here, so I'm guessing it doesn't matter as far as the distance. We'll just pick one. So car A is going 40 miles an hour. At noon, when car A reaches the intersection, car B is 90 miles away, moving toward the intersection. At 1 p.m., so at 1 p.m. I'm going to say car A has already gone through the intersection and is now, since it was going 40 miles an hour, is now 40 miles away from the intersection and traveling 40 miles an hour away from the intersection. Car B. Car B was 90 miles away, moving toward the intersection. At 1 p.m., so an hour later, it was 90 miles away. It went 60 miles in that hour, so now it's only 30 miles away. And it's traveling at 60 miles an hour. So 30 miles, 60 miles an hour. Car A is 40 miles and 40 miles an hour. And we want to know, oh, this is a 3, 4, 5 triangle. We want to know which distance between the cars is changing. Well, it's probably somewhere, but it's probably A or B. I can't imagine it's just 4 or negative 4. But who knows? Maybe it is. I don't know. They were also nice enough to use A and B. So A squared plus B squared equals C squared. C is 50, and we're looking for dc dt, the distance. How is it changing? Let's be careful. dA dt is 40, and a positive 40 because it's going away. dB dt is negative 60 because that distance is shrinking. He's going toward the intersection, so the distance is shrinking. dA dt is getting bigger. 2a dA dt plus 2b dB dt equals 2c dc dt. And I think we know everybody except for dc dt. Running out of space. Where to put this? So dc dt is, I'm going to divide everybody by 2, be done with that. A times, can I switch to primes? Are we okay with that? Save me some space. A times A prime plus B times B prime, all divided by C. Here's my answer. And this is no calculator, so this is supposed to work out somehow. So that would be 40 times 40 plus B is 30, B prime is negative 60, and C is 50. No calculator, huh? Well, look at my answer choices. So surely I can get it narrowed down to those.
Take a 0.
1600 minus 1800.
Looks like it's 8.
So it's definitely negative. Which which means it's only a matter of do we get our decimal right. So negative 200 divided by 50? It is negative 4.
Oh, for the love. Come on. I'm just right, but I have it also. Oh, I didn't write it. What are the odds of that? How do you only change like 4?
Well, it's because one's going this way and one's going this way is why the change is small. So it's a good question. It seems small, but one's coming toward the intersection, one's going away from the intersection, so that distance between them isn't changing a whole lot. Right? If they were both going toward the intersection, then it would definitely be negative. If they were both going away from the intersection, it would definitely be positive. But you got one going toward and one going away, so it is a small change. So you're good to question the answer, but maybe you can figure out that it does make sense. Other questions? Rachel? 62. Then we'll move on to today's stuff. The function y equals all that has a horizontal tangent. Horizontal tangent. Slope is 0, f prime is 0. So, we gotta. There's certain sets of words that need to be linked in your brain. Slope and derivative. Horizontal tangent means slope is 0. Point of inflection. That would mean f double prime equals 0 and changes sign. So be careful on that one. Usually the change of signs happens kind of on its own. For the same value of x. What must be b? So y prime is 4x cubed plus 2bx plus 8. Okay, I'd set that equal to 0. Yeah, I don't like that 8 in there either. But let's do the second derivative. That might be a little easier to deal with. 12x squared plus 2b. And both of those have to equal 0. So, let's see. 6x squared plus b equals 0. So that means b equals negative 6x squared. I know I'm supposed to be finding b rather than finding x, but I think this is the easier way. So that means 4x cubed plus 2 times negative 6x squared times x plus 8 equals 0. Again, this is on the no calculator part, so the algebra should work out nicely. We'll see. 4x cubed minus 12x cubed would be negative 8x cubed plus 8 equals 0. Oh, I see what they did there. Move the 8 over, divide by 8. You get x cubed equals 1, so x equals 1. Be careful. Oh, x equals 1, it must be answer C. No, because what is the value of b? Well, b equals negative 6x squared. So that would be negative 6. That's another good example of an AP test question because it tests like 3 things at once. Do you know what a horizontal tangent is? Do you know what a point of inflection is? And then can you do some algebra? Hopefully the answer to all 3 of those is yes. Otherwise you're in trouble.